Hello and welcome to a vlog from me, Mr. C, as your head teacher. It's been a little while since I've done a vlog in this format, just straight to camera. I've done a few assemblies over the past weeks, which you may have watched. Certainly the children have watched those on a weekly basis and had some updates and messages. But I wanted to deliver some updates to you in a slightly different format today, as well as my head teacher update, which will come out to you later. So look out for that. Look out for the learning letters which are on there. There's a link to this week's assembly and lots of other celebrations and successes from across the school. I don't know what your organisation or workplace is like, or indeed your family home, but certainly within school we often have weeks which have threads or themes which run through them. And this week, the two words which have stood out to me, number one is generosity, and the second one is leadership. So generosity has shown itself in many, many ways this week. We have a very generous parent body, we have generous pupils and generous staff. The community of people which we serve and which we work with have just blessed us this week. Yesterday we had our harvest donations for a local charity who support people who are in need at different times across Haywards Heath and this area. And the amount of food which you bought in and donated was just amazing. We were truly blessed, and indeed we can then pass that blessing on to the families who much need that support at this time and indeed this season that they find themselves in. We had tins and cans, we had all sorts of cereals and packets of things, and they are going to go a long, long way to support the food banks which are in operation and which families will turn to, particularly at this time of year and indeed the pandemic and the crisis which we find ourselves in. We know that we don't have to look too far to see the people who are maybe a little less fortunate than ourselves and just need some support and some help in the times they find themselves in. So thank you so much for that. That's hugely appreciated both by us, something we can do together and bring all of our generosity into one place, and then further push that out to other people who require it and who need it. And so the charity are very, very grateful for that. And I just want to thank you personally for your support in that. Also, the generosity of our parents in the time this week. Many of our parents have helped around the site, around the school. We've had projects going on outside. Recently, what have we had? We have had a potting shed that's been put up, so the base was put down and then the shed constructed and the roof felted, so that's now a space where we can put our gardening equipment and our tools, which are both used in forest school, but also gardening clubs and different things that go around and on across the school at different times. We've also had a compost bin, a 3-bay, I think it is, 2 or 3-bay compost bin that's been put up next to that potting shed, so we can continue with our green approach at school. We've got eco warriors that are biting at the bit to get involved in that and start getting all those tea bags that teachers have been having at break times. They can go in there, and grass cuttings and some of the old bits we've cut off the vegetables, and lots of things we know will go into there. So that's a lovely project that's come together, and that's now taken shape. We've had a wonderful water wall that's been constructed. That's in the early years area, so the children are going to start using that, seeing how the water cycles around. There's a hand bilge pump which will send the water up to the top and it will cascade down, and there's some chains there for them to change the direction which way the water goes, so they can really explore that as their curiosity and their learning develops through that. We have had some benches that have been built outside, some worktops by the pond area very much for forest school usage, or when indeed the teachers take the children out as part of their science work. They find all sorts of things in the pond, and so to have a place now where they can have their books, to ID what these creatures are, and place their trays down so they don't get kicked over and knocked back in the pond. So again, something which just enhances what we do and how we work. So that's certainly all been going on. And then there's also been another storage area built in the forest school area, which has been for crafting and woodwork and things like that. So lots and lots has been going on, which we just couldn't have done without your generosity. And also thank you to those people that have donated felt, you've donated postcrete, you've donated all sorts of building resources and things which have enabled these projects to happen. So thank you, please keep those offers coming in, we will very much make use of it. And if you're not sure what you want to donate, but you just want to donate something, just drop me an email and I'll send you a list. There's always a list of things that we need in our school. So lots of generosity there, and thank you, and we are very grateful of that. Leadership is the second strand. So this week we've had some real leadership conversations across staff. We've had discussions around how they are growing as leaders, how they are developing, the sort of conversations that we're overhearing as we sort of walk past different bubbles, or around how we can further develop, how we can extend our leadership. And this is at all different levels of leadership, right from those members of staff who maybe haven't been in post very long but know that they are leaders because they influence those children and they are the role models and get looked up to every single day as those pupils come in and see what's expected of them, through to those who have more experience, who maybe lead subjects, they mentor other members of staff, through to my senior leadership team and indeed myself, and just those opportunities to have that authentic leadership and that vulnerable leadership. But certainly leadership across our school is growing in so many different ways. Yesterday I had a real honour and privilege to attend, albeit virtually, the Global Leadership Summit. This was a day of leadership talks by renowned leaders across the world who have written books. They're keynote speakers at huge conferences, and they presented lots of different things. And for me, that's a real blessing and an opportunity to fill up my knowledge, to increase my awareness of some of the current leadership themes and threads and messages, and then I can then cascade them back down through my staff and indeed to my pupils about the sort of things that leadership is happening and thriving with at the moment. So lots there, as you would imagine, about resilience, leading through the dip. That was another thing that we find ourselves in, and how we lead through that and how we become stronger. And a key message through that is just whatever you do, the reason you went into it, just keep doing that. So if you are a teacher, then teach. And if you are a leader, then lead. And if you are a builder, then build. And whatever it is you do and why you went into your role, then do that. Because at this time when there's so much uncertainty, that's something we know how to do. And that's something that we will do. We will lead and we will teach. And that has real resonance in me, because when you find yourself in a position of just, well, what do you do? Where do you start? And how do you support and work with all these different people? It comes back to that. What's your critical mission? What is it that you came into this role for? And certainly at Northlands Wood, it's about teaching and about leading and about getting our young people ready for their future lives and about supporting our families in what they do. So we will do that. We will teach, we will lead, we will support. And we will do that with you and alongside you. And hopefully then together we will come out of the dip, the other side, and we'll be even stronger and better than we were before. So just a few updates there from me. Further things will come in our head teacher update later. We've got photos on Monday, so make sure the children are all in their red jumpers or cardigans ready for that, and their hair nicely primed. And yes, it's an opportunity for that to happen, which is very exciting, and we're pleased that we can offer that. We've got parents consultations coming up. They will start to come out, I believe, the 20th, I think maybe Tuesday. They will go live, 7 o'clock in the evening for you to book. Two different things. One, there is an in-school, an in-time opportunity for a phone call from your child's class teacher, or the option of a Zoom call after school. Or a third option is actually, do you know what, if at the moment you feel your child's doing okay, they've settled in, you're maybe hearing some bits via Seesaw, then actually, do you know what, at the moment we're okay. We don't need that time with the class teacher. However, we know that that option is there at some point in the future if we do need to, or we want to touch base. So we know that people are all in all different places, so we wanted to put those options out there. So please feel free to think which one suits you best. Is it a phone call? Is it a Zoom call? Or is it, do you know what, at the moment, we're okay. We don't need anything, and our child is happy. They seem to be progressing well. They come home smiling, and at the moment, we're fine. But if things change, or if we want to touch base, even sort of into December or January, then we'll do that. And we'll make contact via the school office with the teacher, and then we can have a meeting at a time which maybe suits us better. So all those are options for you. I'm sure one of them will work, and we will go from there. So lots there for you to digest and think about, but it's certainly been an exciting week. I hope you don't mind me sharing some of those things with you. Sorry that I've gone on for pretty much 11 minutes, but yeah, I'm sure you'll I'm sure you'll have paused, and well, you won't even see this if you've given up already. So there you go. And if you have stuck with me, well done, and great success. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best. Thank you for what you do, and keep being awesome. Bye for now. Bye bye.